Taiwan has vowed to launch a counterattack against Chinese forces should they enter its territory, saying it has the right to self-defense. The warning comes after Taiwan fired warning shots for the first time to drive away a Chinese drone flying close to the self-ruled island. China's foreign ministry hit back, accusing Taipei of stoking tensions. Beijing earlier dismissed the island's complaints about drone harassments as, quote, not worth fussing about.
那么第一个就是我们国军会秉持越接近本岛反制力越强的立场，那么派遣海空的兵力以及岸置的火力来强制驱离进入我海空域的共军机舰。那么其次就是对于进入我12里领海领空的共军机舰，那么我们国军是依例来行使自卫权反击。
The confrontation comes as Taiwan hosts another U.S. delegation. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey is the latest American official to defy China's repeated warnings to stop such trips. Mr. Ducey is expected to meet with Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen and members of the semiconductor industry during his three-day visit. And Lo Min-min joins us live from Shanghai. Min-min, China unfazed by Taiwan's threat of a counterattack.
That's right. You just heard that pithy one-liner response from the Chinese Foreign Ministry. And we know that Taiwan has been hosting a string of U.S. politicians ever since U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited earlier this month. And Beijing has responded then with unprecedented military drills around Taiwan. This time, Beijing is warning the U.S. once again to stop any form of official exchanges with Taiwan, to stop sending the wrong signals to Taiwan independence forces, and to abide by that One China principle. It says it will take effective action to safeguard its territorial integrity. It also hit back at accusations that it is overreacting, saying that the cause of this current crisis is clear. The U.S. is the provocateur, and China is simply taking legitimate and necessary defensive action because Taiwan is an inalienable part of its own territory. We know there is also business interests involved this time because the U.S. governor is seeking critical chip supplies from Taiwan. And last week, the Indiana governor visited Taiwan for the same reason. And U.S. President Joe Biden has been asking Congress to approve $1 billion arms sale to Taiwan. And all of these have prompted the foreign ministry spokesperson to make a snarky remark, saying that the U.S. politicians are racing to make money from Taiwan. And he accused the DPP, the ruling party of Taiwan, of squandering people's hard-earned money and becoming that cash machine for these U.S. politicians.
Min-min, the tug of war over regional ties extending as well to the Pacific Islands. How has China reacted to the Solomon Islands, saying it's banning all foreign naval ships? Is there any clarity at this point if Beijing is also barred?
Well, Beijing simply said that the Solomon Islands is a sovereign state, and so it has the right to make its own decision. And this is raising alarm in the U.S. because Beijing and Solomon Islands have signed a security pact earlier on in April, which the U.S. fears could allow Beijing to send security forces to the Solomon Islands or even create a naval base there just thousands of kilometers away from the west coast of Australia. Both the U.S. and the Solomon's government have denied this. Both China and the Solomon's government have denied this. But now the US, Australia and China are all trying to compete for influence in this region because the Pacific Islands are like the stepping stones to East Asia. And experts say if China has a sway on any of them, then it could change the entire contour of what Australia, the US and their allies could achieve in this region. So the US has accused China of trying to bully and coerce these nations to do their own bidding rather than serve the broader interest of a free and open Indo-Pacific. But Beijing, on the other hand, want to make sure that these small nations do not get drawn too closely into the U.S. orbit. Wei Su.
And thanks to that, Lo Min-min reporting live to us there from Shanghai.